things. I came across one of your ads on Facebook. Certainly a rough time in my life. I'd, gone through a long-term relationship, breakup. And I was just kind of at the point, it felt like Groundhog's Day. Every day's the same. I had kind of also sort of fallen into the self-help rabbit hole, done a ton of reading, ton of course, YouTube videos and Audible books and even a couple other online classes, frankly. And logically, I got a lot of it, but I really didn't have the tools to sort of put it into action. And that's a lot of what you brought to the table. Basically showing me how to put all that knowledge into play and into action, and that things can get better exponentially. You certainly backed up what you said, and frankly, that could be somewhat rare. As you touched on, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of people peddling things. There's a lot of sort of different ways to go about it. But you showed up. There were times where I sort of fell off the horse a little bit, and you held me accountable, which was absolutely needed. And stayed the course, followed protocol, so to speak. And as you say, all workouts are hard. If you put in the work, you're going to get the results. There's no debating it. And certainly, it's easy for me to say because I'm on the back end of the class and that sort of thing. But you certainly, again, you showed up. You said what you did, what you said you were going to do, and wholeheartedly. And again, there were times where I needed to be held accountable, and you did that. And the proof's in the pudding.
Sure.
It's a night and day difference, and frankly, Lance, I think even that may be a bit of an understatement. Night and day. Again, I've got practical tools to be able to put some of this knowledge into play, and it's a night and day difference. I'm wholeheartedly looking forward to my future and happy about it, and happy in the moment just because I can be. It's not conditional. It's not. Things like that where you have to have external validation or external things happen in order for me to be happy. It's something that I've been conditioned to feel and be and embody every day, all day, just because I can.
Wonderful. So a lot of people out there, besides the fact that everyone's skeptical these days, a lot of people out there believe their situation is very unique. And you now know it's actually very simple. Everyone at the end of the day wants the ability, the skill to know that every day has the option, the opportunity to feel great, to be great that day, have a great day, regardless of the external world. You now know in a very simple way, it's not as complicated as people make it out to be. That's really what everyone wants. So if you came across somebody and, for example, someone's watching this video right now and they're having a really hard time with something, some emotional thing is just really putting them in a dark hole, and they're struggling and they're going down the personal development rabbit hole, or they're going down the never-ending counseling rabbit hole. Many rabbit holes to explore, right? But to anybody who came across this ad and is skeptical as far as, I don't think it's possible. Everything I've been hearing my whole life is time heals all wounds and all that nonsense. What would you tell somebody who has actually an opportunity to do this program versus doing all the conventional things out there, even though conventional wisdom says what I'm saying is not in the cards? Knowing what you know, what would you tell them?
I would say take the step and do it. It's if it's not the best thing you ever do for yourself, it's going to be right up there. I tried 6 ways to Sunday to do all of these things on my own, and while I may have had some level of knowledge, the practical application just wasn't there. And aside from the coaching aspect too, to me that was invaluable. I've grown leaps and bounds, and there's been times, I've been graduated for a few months now that I didn't follow the processes and use the tools, and the difference there is night and day too. It's a commitment, and you owe it to yourself. It's you're worth it, and I was there too. Everybody thinks their situation's unique, and you have all these variables and those sorts of things, and really, once you get down to brass tacks, it's not. We're human, and again, we just want to feel good and happy.
Simple, right? Not so complicated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So maybe a couple last questions here. Um, I like to ask this one. I forgot to ask this one earlier, but I think it's very important for people to know. Scott, was this easy?
No, absolutely not. There's nothing easy about it.
Mhm.
Well, I say nothing. That may be a little bit of a stretch. It certainly was not easy, but it's also one of those things. At least for myself and even the other people in the group, when I went through the class, you start seeing changes almost immediately.
Mhm.
So it's one of these things where it's not hard, and you have to sort of tough it out for 6 or 8 weeks, and then the sky opens, and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's yeah, you start seeing the dividends quick, as long as you do the work and you stay committed.
Wonderful. Yeah. So anyone listening here, just to close up here, this is not a magic trick. Serious program, hard work, lifetime commitment. You're going to find out you had a different type of muscle you never knew you had before. But just like a muscle, after you look great, you're like this Greek god or goddess. You can't just sit in the couch and eat potato chips and think those muscles are going to maintain themselves. It does not work like that. This is a true serious program. It is a lifetime commitment. It is for people that are willing to do the work, want it, and understand that anything great in this life requires your real clocking of time in the gym. And I will introduce you to a different type of gym if you're willing to
Yes.
do the work. But yes, this is absolutely not easy.